Okay. Chalo. Let's continue with unit number 3. Take a fresh page. Take a fresh page. Write heading capital and revenue. Okay, na? Chalo, see, what is this story of capital and revenue? Before you proceed further, one should compulsory have a knowledge of this word called capital and revenue. Okay, so what is capital? What is revenue? We will discuss. Okay, business is full of transactions and events. Okay, all the transactions and events that you do, which we incur or which we do, is of two types actually. One is expense, another one is income. One is expense, another one is income. Actually, according to me, there is nothing called asset. We don't have something called asset. Asset is something which has come up with expense. Okay? The expense which you incur are of two types. One is short term, another one is long term. One is short term expenditure, another one is long term expenditure. What is short term? What is long term? You remember our periodicity concept? According to the periodicity concept, what is the period that we are supposed to take? 12 months. 12 months is the period that we are supposed to take. Yes or no? So anything up to 12 months is called as short term. Anything beyond 12 months will be said as long term. Clear? So up to a period of 12 months it is short term. Anything above 12 months is a long term. Okay? So when you incur a various expense, we incur a short term expense, we incur a long term expense. Okay? All short term expenses are called as revenue items. All long term expenses are known as capital items. Okay? So in a business, what happens, say for example, I paid salary. Salary generally will be paid per month. I pay rent. I pay rent per month. So the benefit of these items will be lost within a month's time. And these are called short term. And we should call it as a revenue items. On the other hand, when we start a business, we also incur some long-term expenditures. And today we have to pay that. The benefit of that will be enjoyed for long period of time. Example, in my business, I purchased ACs. What is the life of AC? More than 12 months. Say for example, I purchased this AC. And he said, this AC life is 10 years. I paid 50,000 for the AC, where the life of the AC is 10 years. Okay? Is it an expenditure or not? Yes. I purchased benches. Let's also assume the bench life is 10 years. Okay? I purchased each bench for 10,000 rupees. Like that 100 benches I purchased. So what is the total amount that I have spent? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs is the total amount that I have spent. Okay, now? I paid now. Money went out of my pocket. Okay, now? Sure. Let me go to P&L account and write to salary, some amount, to rent, some amount, to AC, 10 lakhs, 50,000, to benches, 10 lakhs. Is it right? Is it right? Why no? Okay, forget about depreciation later. Manam depreciation tarad maatladam. P&L account, trading P&L account, as per the periodicity concept, you prepare for how many months? Incomes you take for how many months? 12 months. Expenses you have to take for how many months? Is these two 12 months? These two are how many years? 10 years items, how you will put in the P&L account of 1 year? Yes or no? So this is wrong. This is wrong. Sir, what I should do, sir? Then what do you do? Go to the balance sheet. You write it as asset, 50,000. You charge something called depreciation. There will be a life. Say for example 10 years, which we assume. 50,000 divided by 10. How much? This is belonging to 12 months. This you bring it here. Similarly, you write bench. Bench is 10 lakhs. The life of the bench is 10 years. Every year it is a lakh. Bring that lakh here. That's the reason something comes depreciation for 12 months here. Then compare this 12 months with 12 months to find out your correct profit or loss. Okay? Like that, for expenses and incomes, we need to divide the items into short term and long term. Okay? All long term are known as, all short term are known as. So it is very important for one to understand whether it is a revenue item or it is a capital item, because revenue items are going to be consumed in same year. Revenue items are going to be consumed in same year. Say for example, we spend money on this marker. How long? What is the life of this marker? 5 years. Marker 5 years ఎడు వస్తుందిరా? 6 months. So చెప్పండి, ఇది రెవెన్యూ క్యాపిటలా? Revenue. Why? The life of that asset or item or that expenditure, the benefit that I am going to get from that expenditure is not even more than 12 months. So it is a revenue. I purchased that camera. More than 12 months. Capital. I purchased this fan. Purchased the AC. Purchased this table. Purchased this laptop. Purchased this tab. Purchased this pen. Purchased this nib. Revenue. Because RIP maximum class 2 class a week. That's it. Okay. I purchased a phone. Capital. Okay. I purchased a mic. I purchased a bench. I purchased a water bottle. Revenue. Okay na? So like that, items need to be categorized into capital and revenue. Am I clear? Okay na? This is one of the most important classification of the items. Now this classification is done because of going concern concept. Because of going concern concept, what was our assumption? For long period. How long? Indefinite. That's the reason we incur long-term expenditures. I have started Patshala in 2023 December or 24 January. I have started Patshala in 24 January just to assume that we will close in 25. How long? I cannot tell you. But I assume that I'll use my bench, I'll use my AC, I'll use my mic, everything will be used. With that intention I have started. Yes or no? Like that. Next, periodicity. According to periodicity, we have to divide our long period into. According to matching, I have to match direct expenses with direct incomes. Yes or no? Now this is for that period only. I have to match. Okay na? Like that, various concepts also tell you that you should divide your expenses properly. Okay? Write down. Introduction. Write down there. Introduction. Accounting is a language of business. Accounting is a language of business. Stop. To make the language clear to all, to make the language clear to all, to make the language clear to all, comma, it is based on certain set of accounting principles. Certain set of accounting principles. Put one hyphen and write concepts and conventions. Concepts and conventions. Full stop. All business transactions and events. All business transactions and events should be analyzed. All business transactions and events should be analyzed. All business transactions and events should be analyzed and classified properly as capital and revenue nature. Classified properly as capital and revenue nature. Full stop. This classification is because of going concern, comma, periodicity, comma, matching, and accrual. Accrual also says, kada, for that period only you have to take. Accrual also says the same. Stop. Accounting aims at ascertaining and presenting the results of the business, for an accounting period. Hence, this classification is important. Next line. Revenue items are those which are related to day-to-day operations. Revenue items are those which are related to day-to-day operations. And the benefit of which will be exhausted within a maximum period of how much? 12 months. Full stop. They are short term. Full stop. On the other hand, capital items are those. The benefits of which extend beyond the benefits of which extend beyond one accounting period, the benefits of which are extend beyond one accounting period, that is more than 12 months, more than 12 months, or long term. Next line. All revenue items are transferred to where do you transfer all revenue items? Trading P&L account, right? All revenue items are transferred to trading P&L account as per matching concept. As per matching concept. Whereas all capital items are placed in balance sheet. All capital items are placed in balance sheet. And periodically, all capital items are placed in balance sheet and periodically transferred to P&L account. And periodically transferred to P&L account. So understand one point, whether it is a revenue items or a capital items, at the end of the day, everything will come to P&L account. See this? Revenue items directly transferred to P&L account. Capital items will go to balance sheet as an asset. Again from there it will come to P&L account. So end of the day, everything has to come to P&L account. Revenue items will come immediately. Capital items will come over a period of time. Okay, na? That's it. Full stop. Next line. Ultimately, both revenue and capital items will be transferred to P&L account. Okay, na? This is introduction to capital line revenue. Understood that? So tell me now, what are revenue items? Short term. The benefit of that will not extend beyond 12 months, one accounting period. Okay, they are recurring in nature. Generally we incur again and again. Okay, say for example rent is there. Per month I will pay rent and use for lifetime. Then every month I have to pay rent. Salaries is there. 1 month I pay salary and ask employee to work till he dies. No, every month I have to pay. So like that, they are recurring in nature. They will be transferred to P&L account. Like that we have some features. Okay, na? Chalo, right. Next study. Factors or considerations for determining revenue and capital. Factors or considerations for determining revenue and capital. See, now what we studied was a generalized idea, what is revenue, what is capital. But there are some other sides of the stories also. You need to consider the various factors to determine something as a revenue or capital. Okay? What I told you is not only the benchmark to which we are going to determine it as a revenue or capital. One by one I'll tell you. See, first one. Nature of business. in what business you are into will also determine what is capital, what is revenue. Okay na? Now, just now we discussed what is AC for Patshala? Asset. Asset ante which nature? Capital. Avuna kada? Same AC for Bajaj Electronics. Why? Every day they buy ACs, they sell ACs. So for them it is revenue. For us it is asset, capital item. Clear? So that's how, based on the nature of business also, we will say. Say for example, land for us, asset. Land for real estate company. Furniture for us. Furniture for Bantia Furnitures. Revenue. So based on the nature of business, your capital and revenue will be determined. Camera for us, asset. Camera company, add the goods, so he'll keep on buying and selling. So based on the situation, your capital and revenue can change. Clear? Next, second one. Recurring nature. What is recurring nature? Recurring ante which you incur again and again. Revenue items are recurring in nature. Capital items are non-recurring in nature. Say for example, as I told you, marker, you buy very regularly or not? Salaries, you pay every month or not? Rent, you pay every month or not? Asset, you buy every month? No. So that is recurring and non-recurring. And which you incur again and again are revenue, which you incur only once are capital. Clear? Next. Third. The purpose of the expenditure that you incur. The purpose of expenditure that you incur. Sometimes the purpose of the expenditure is only to maintain. The purpose of expenditure is only to maintain. It will not increase the value of asset, or it will not increase the earning capacity. Two things చూడాలి asset లో. Value of the asset, earning capacity. If it doesn't increase, it is revenue. Say for example, I have a building. For a building, I went for a whitewash. Painting చేశాను. ఏంటది? When you go for painting of your building, it is simply maintenance. It is simply, so that will become revenue. For my entire building, I have renovated like anything. I made it ultra posh. Capital. The purpose of the expenditure also decides whether it is revenue or capital. I'll give you a good example to understand. See, I purchased an AC. After purchase of AC, we are installing AC. Installation expenses, revenue in nature. Installation expenses are revenue in nature. But at the time of purchase, if you do, capital. We'll add it to the asset. Repair expenses, revenue. Because chota mota repairs is maintenance. Okay na? If you incur a revenue repair expenses at the time of buying a second hand machine, capital. General గా మనం సెకండ్ హ్యాండ్ అసెట్స్ కొన్నాం అనుకోండి, ఆల్రెడీ అది వాడి ఉంది కదా, దట్ ఫెలో హస్ యూజ్డ్ ఇట్. దాన్ని కొన్ని చోట మోటా రిపేర్ చేస్తే ఇట్ విల్ బి ఇన్ యూజబుల్ కండిషన్. ఇట్ విల్ బి ఇన్ యూజబుల్ కండిషన్. దట్ విల్ బికమ్ capital. Second hand purchase. After purchase, after 6 months, after 1 year, chota mota repairs you got revenue, maintenance. Okay na, like that. So based on the timing, another important thing that you have to remember is timing. When you are incurring, at the time of purchase, capital, later revenue. Okay na? Next, benefit. The benefit from the asset is long term, ante more than 12 months. It is short term, less than or equal to 12 months, revenue. Okay na? This is benefit. Clear? Last, most important one, materiality. We already discussed this concept. What do you mean by materiality? Essential, important, and what is material, what is not material depends upon facts and circumstances of each case. I cannot exactly tell you what is important, what is not important. Okay, now all of you students, now you are using calculators to do your calculation. Use calculator. I purchased calculator for 60 rupees in the year 2001. When I was like you, just finished my intermediate and get into my professional courses, I purchased a calculator in the year 2001 for 60 rupees. Okay, na? Original citizen calculator. Still it is there with me. Japan. I am in 2026. Still my calculator is working. Shall I go to the balance sheet of Saigout and write calculator 60 rupees, depreciate calculator 60 rupees for 25, 26 years? Why? Hey, just now you said, Nora, anything more than 12 months is a long term. Uddu sir, Rashi. Adentra? Sir, ante sir. A Buddha amount you want to put in the balance sheet, maintenance as an asset, danko method, depreciation, percentage, avasaram లేదు sir, Rashi. What is that? Just now I asked one question. This marker performs how long? 6 months. Someone said 10 years. Let's assume I'm using this marker very carefully and this marker really worked for 5 years. Shall I take this marker and put in the balance sheet of Patshala? Why? You only said no. Anything more than 12 months is a long term and it is a capital. Not worth. Not worth. 20 rupees marker ni తీసుకెళ్లి balance sheet లో వేయకూడదు. Certain things are based on which is a personal judgment. Which is a personal judgment. Clear? So this is what is the story of things where factors or considerations which we need to take into account while determining. Sometimes because of this what happens, certain items you feel it as revenue will become capital. Certain items you feel it as capital will become. So these many corners you need to check to determine a particular item as revenue or capital. Clear? Right on. While determining a item as revenue or capital, a item as revenue or capital, comma, for determining an item as revenue or capital, comma, the following points should be considered. The following points should be considered. Right, one by one. First one, nature of business. First one, nature of business. Second, recurring nature of expenditure. Recurring nature of expenditure. Third, purpose of expenditure. Purpose of expenditure. Next, timing of expenditure. Next, timing of expenditure. Timing of expenditure. Next, benefits from expenditure. Benefits from expenditure. Last, materiality. Last, materiality. Done now? Chalo. Next. This chapter mainly focuses on the expenditure rather than incomes. Receipts also we have, but major is expenditure. Okay, listen to this now. Next one. See here. Expenditure is broadly categorized into two types according to you. Just now we discussed. One is capital, another one is revenue. Kada? There is another one called deferred revenue expenditure. Third one. What is that? Let's discuss the capital and revenue first. Tarvata deferred revenue chepta. Clear? Chepandra. With the knowledge that we have gained now, ఒక 3-4 crucial points చెప్పండి to determine something as capital and revenue. First, more than 12 months capital, less than or equal to 12 months. More than 12 months we call long term benefit, short term benefit. Non recurring in nature, recurring in nature. This is either earning capacity will increase or value will increase. This is just to maintain maintenance. These are some of the great differences or features that you can say between capital and revenue that we have understood till now. Avuna kada? Okay? So generally revenue are short term, capital are long term. This is recurring in nature, that is non-recurring. Ala manam chadukunnam. Okay? There is something in between which is known as deferred revenue in nature. What is deferred revenue ante? It looks like revenue but behaves like capital. ఇదేంటంటే it looks like revenue but behaves like capital. Evergreen example for this is huge advertisement expenditure. Huge advertisement expenditure. In 2023-24, we have done advertisement. That benefit I got in 2026 admissions. Some of you have seen my advertisement in when you are in 10th class. Now you came and joined Patshala. But I regularly incurring advertisement. Ante in 2023 I have done advertisement. In 2024 I have done advertisement. 2025 I have done advertisement. 2026 also I have done advertisement. But 2023-24 advertisement benefit I got in 2026. Such things are known as deferred revenue expenditure. Ante they looks like capital. They looks like revenue but behaves like capital. Such type of expenses are known as deferred revenue expenditure. So this is what the three types of expenses which we'll have. Last one. Head up. Types of expenditures and Ryan heading. Types of expenditure and Ryan heading. In middle of the page you write expenditure like this. You can see the board. Divide like that 3. Divide like that into 3. Capital, deferred revenue expenditure, revenue expenditure. Ready? Chalo. Revenue expenditure. First end sir? Capital. Then raskondi. Long term. Points raskondi. Bullet points. Long term. Benefit. Long term benefit. Second point. More than 12 months. Actually long term antene more than 12 months. Third. Non-recurring in nature. Non-recurring in nature. Next, increases earning capacity or value. Increases earning capacity or value. Okay, these are the capital. Go to revenue. Short term. Second point, period less than or equal to 12 months. Period less than or equal to 12 months. Recurring in nature. Recurring in nature. And last, to maintain. To maintain. Okay? Now, under deferred revenue, put one F in and write. Arrow down and write. For deferred revenue, put one arrow down and write. It looks like revenue expenditure. It looks like revenue expenditure, but behaves like capital expenditure. Okay, na? These are the types of expenditures that we have. Revenue, capital, deferred revenue. Am I clear? Last concept in this. Right, heading. Revenue and capital receipts. Revenue and capital receipts. Okay, na? Sure. What is this revenue and capital? The concept of revenue and capital is same. Okay, but we are talking about receipt. Generally, receipt ante, it can be a income. It can be a income, but need not be an income always. Need not be a income always, because as I already told you, income is something which you earn. Something which you not earn is also called as receipt. The best example for you, capital. Chapandi. Capital, a business will receive or not? What is capital? Amount given by owner to start the business is called capital. A business start cheyalanna first kavalsindi endra? Capital. Now we receive that capital or not? Income. So remember, all receipts are not incomes. So receipts are broadly categorized into two types. One is revenue in nature, another one is capital in nature. All revenue in nature are generally incomes. All revenue in nature are generally incomes. The best example for you, sale of goods and services. Sale of goods and services. Capital items are not incomes. Generally, the capital items will become liability. Capital items will become liability. Best example for that, capital receipt, bank loan received. Every day you will receive bank loans. Huh? Every day you receive capital. Huh? So it will become what? Liability. So చూడండి, 4 pillars of accounting గుర్తున్నాయా మీకు, which I told you? చెప్పండి రా, what are those 4 pillars of accounting? Expense, income, asset, liability. 4 cover అయ్యాయి చూడండి ఇక్కడ. Expense is revenue, expense is a this thing. Capital expenditure is a asset. Revenue receipt is a income. Capital receipt is a liability. Capital expenditure కాదు, capital expenditure is a asset. Revenue expenditure is a expense. Okay, capital receipt is a liability. Revenue receipt is a income. Okay, incomes మనకు రెగ్యులర్ గా వస్తాయి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఫీజు కడతారు, which is my revenue receipt. Okay na? Owner has given to me capital only once, that is my liability. So like that, 4 pillars, 4 classifications. Clear? Rasko. Revenue and capital receipts, divide that into 2. Revenue receipts, revenue receipts, capital receipts. Under revenue receipts you write, these are the receipts, these are the receipts which are obtained in the normal course of business. These are obtained in the normal course of business. These are the receipts in the normal course of business. So generally they are treated as, generally they are treated as incomes. Generally they are treated as incomes. Example, sale of goods, and services. Next line, they are transferred to P&L account. They are transferred to P&L account. Okay, come to capital. other than revenue receipts, other than revenue receipts are known as, other than revenue receipts are known as capital. Other than revenue receipts are known as capital. Example, sale of assets, sale of assets, comma, capital, bank loans, etc. We'll stop. Next line. They are treated as liability. They are treated as liability. Okay, na? So this is all the concept of capital and revenue. Okay, take down this also. This won't be there in your book. This is my creation. Just take down this. Right, 4 pillars of accounting. 4 pillars of accounting. Four pillars of accounting. Right, expense, income, asset, liability. Expense, income, asset, liability. Under expense you write revenue receipt, revenue payment anand. Revenue expenditure or revenue payment you can say, both are same. Revenue expenditure or revenue payment. Next, income, revenue receipt, revenue receipt. Asset, capital expenditure, capital expenditure or payment. Liability, capital receipt. Done? Okay, na? So this is the complete concept of capital and revenue. Okay, now what we will do? Now we will try to understand how this practically really works. Ante ela divide cheyali, enduk divide cheyali. Because when we prepare our final accounts, what item should go to trading P&L account, what item will go to the balance sheet, depends upon the classification that we do. Clear? Let's see that. So, I asked you to bring ICA materials. Have you? You have not registered yet. Please finish off your registrations. Okay? See you now. So, this is how it's there in your material. Capital and revenue. Only these items we need to study. Capital payments, capital receipts, revenue payments, revenue receipts. Capital payment entra? Asset. Oi, capital is asset. Revenue payment enti? Expenditure. Capital receipt enti? Liability. Revenue receipt enti? Income. So, good to bet. Income and expenses are revenue. Asset and liability is capital. And what goes to balance sheet is a capital. What goes to trading P&L account is a revenue. Clear? Now that introduction is given. Then he has given considerations in determining the capital and revenue items, nature of business, recurring nature of expenditure, purpose of expenditure, effect on revenue generating capacity, materiality. These are the 5 concepts that he has designed. Okay. Next, capital expenditure and revenue expenditure differences he gave. Period of benefit. Entara period of benefit? Long term, more than 12 months. Period of benefit, current period, and less than or equal to 12 months. Enhancement or maintenance. Capital expenditure will increase the capacity of the business or reduces the cost. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, increasing capacity అయినా reducing cost అయినా same. Something which I do, it will, like say electricity is consumption is there, I got one machine installed, it will either reduce my cost or increase my efficiency. Both are same. ఈ మోటార్ వెహికల్స్ లో కొత్త మోటార్ వెహికల్స్ వస్తాయి కదా, ఎలక్ట్రానికల్ వెహికల్స్, ఈ వెహికల్స్, దానిలో ఏమవుతుంది, కాస్ట్ తగ్గుతుంది, మైలేజ్ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తుంది. సో బోత్ ఆర్ బెనిఫిట్స్ ఫర్ అస్. రెవెన్యూ ఈజ్ జస్ట్ టు మెయింటైన్ ద ఎర్నింగ్ కెపాసిటీ. ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్: purchase of machine, car, furniture, repairs and maintenance, salary, etc. Okay, let's see what types of questions you may get in this. These are all theoretical. A strong base of theoretical you are going to get. Okay, చెప్పండి, answer this, true or false. Overall expenses, overall అంటే overall కాదు, overhaul, overoiling అంటే ఒక మిషన్ రన్ అవ్వాలి, దానికి ఆయిలింగ్, గ్రీసింగ్, రిపేరింగ్, మెయింటెనెన్స్ అన్నమాట. Overall expenses of second hand machine purchase are treated as revenue. Actually overall expenses are revenue only. ఇప్పుడు మీ బైక్ ఉందిరా, బైక్స్ ఆర్ దేర్, బైక్స్ వి గివ్ సర్వీసింగ్, ఎందుకు, మెయింటెనెన్స్. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఎ రెవెన్యూ, బట్ దే ఆర్ ఇంకర్డ్ అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ purchase of second hand. It is not revenue, it is capital. So this is ఏమడిగాడు వాడు, true or false? It is false. ఓకేనా? Money spent to reduce the working expenses, amount you are spending to reduce your expenditure. Money you are spending to reduce your expenditure. Just now I told you, no, any amount if you spend, either your earning capacity is increased or your cost has come down. So that is capital in nature. So this is not revenue, it is capital in nature. False. Okay, next, legal fees to acquire property is a capital expenditure. Yes, we are buying one property, at the time of purchase of the property we are paying some legal fees, and advocate fees or government ko edo legal charges we are paying. So that is true, capital expenditure. Okay na? Next, amount spent as lawyers fees to defend a suit claim against the firm's factory site belong to the plaintiff land is a capital expenditure. ఎవడో మన ల్యాండ్ కబ్జా చేశాడు, మనం కోర్టుకి వెళ్ళి కొట్లాడుతున్నాం, we are fighting just to maintain your title. ఇప్పుడు మీ ప్రాపర్టీ ఉంది, someone has done కబ్జా, ఏం చేయాలి మీరు, go to the court, fight against it. So you are earning a title, you are maintaining a title. So it is revenue or capital? Revenue, but ఏమన్నాడు వాడు, so this is false. Okay na? Amount spent for replacement of worn out part of a machine. ఒక మిషన్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది, దానిలో ఏదో ప్రాబ్లం అయింది, కొత్త పార్ట్ వేసుకున్నాం, it increases the value or earning capacity or maintenance? Maintenance. So that is capital కాదు, false. Revenue. Expenses incurred on repairing and whitewashing of the first time on purchase of a old building are revenue expenses. First time whitewash is a capital. Second and third, sometimes building ఏమవుతుంది తెలుసా మనం, 3 years ఒకసారి, 5 years ఒకసారి వైట్ వాష్కి వెళ్తాం. What is that? Maintenance only, but this is capital. False. Expenses in connection with obtaining a license for running a cinema is a capital expenditure. మనము సినిమా థియేటర్ పెట్టుకోవాలి, ఫస్ట్ టైం సినిమా థియేటర్ పెట్టడానికి లైసెన్స్ తెచ్చుకున్నాం, capital. It's true. The amount spent for construction of temporary huts which are necessary for construction of a cinema house and were demolished once the cinema house was ready, which we incur only once. So that is a capital expenditure. Okay, ila adutadu vaadu, and you should say why false, why true. Should false. Overall expenses are incurred and incurred to put second hand machinery in working condition to derive endurable long term advantage. So it has to be అలా మీకు రీజన్స్ ఇస్తాడు వాడు, వై ఇట్ షుడ్ బి యాడెడ్, వై ఇట్ షుడ్ బి డిడక్టెడ్, వై ఇట్ ఈస్ క్యాపిటల్, వై ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ క్యాపిటల్. క్లియర్? ఇది చెప్పండి. సెకండ్ ఇల్లస్ట్రేషన్, స్టేట్ విత్ రీజన్స్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ క్యాపిటల్ ఆర్ రెవెన్యూ. అంటే యూ షుడ్ సే వెదర్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ఎ క్యాపిటల్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఆర్ ఎ రెవెన్యూ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్. ఓకేనా? చెప్పండి. ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ ఇంకర్డ్ ఇన్ కనెక్షన్ విత్ అబ్టైనింగ్ ఎ లైసెన్స్ ఫర్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఎ ఫ్యాక్టరీ. మనం ఫస్ట్ టైం ఫ్యాక్టరీ పెట్టుకుంటున్నాం, గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి లైసెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి కదా. యూ టేక్ వన్స్ ఆర్ అగైన్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ వాట్ 1000 paid for removal of inventory to a new site. ఒక సైట్ లో మన గూడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అది తీసుకెళ్ళి ఇంకో సైట్ లో పెట్టుకున్నాం, రెవెన్యూ. Rings and pistons of an engine were changed at a cost of 5,000 to get fuel efficiency. No. Fuel efficiency అంటే మన బైక్ ఉంది, 1 లీటర్కి 50 కిలోమీటర్స్ ఇస్తుంది. నువ్వు ఒక ఐటమ్ యాడ్ చేస్తే 60-70 కిలోమీటర్స్ ఇస్తుంది. క్యాపిటల్, బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ద అర్నింగ్ కెపాసిటీ. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండిరా, ఎనీథింగ్ విచ్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ యువర్ అర్నింగ్ కెపాసిటీ ఆర్ రెడ్యూసెస్ యువర్ కాస్ట్, బోత్ ఆర్ క్యాపిటల్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్స్. So this is capital. Okay. Money paid to Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, MTNL, 8,000 for installation a telephone in an office. Actually, it is not an expenditure for us. Malli a double istaru, but we should treat it as capital item, not revenue. A factory shed was constructed at a cost of 1 lakh. A sum of 5,000 has been incurred in construction of a temporary huts for storing building material. Capital, because we are going to get a capital asset there. Okay na? Good. Third question is added. Best Tech Solutions buy and sell computers as a part of its business. Gurudupettukoni, meeku cheppanu, one of the factor to consider is nature of business. Kada ఏ బిజినెస్ లో ఉన్నాడు వాడు? బయింగ్, సెల్లింగ్ ఆఫ్ కంప్యూటర్స్. ఓకే. It purchased 20 computers for resale to its customer. 20 computers కొన్నారంట మళ్ళీ అమ్మడానికి. Cost of each computer is, it has also purchased a computer costing 24,000 for its accountant to be able to maintain the accounting records and printing off. They are in which business? Buying and selling of computer. So computer వాడికి ఏంటి? Stock. Computer వాడికి ఏంటి? Stock. అలాంటి కంప్యూటర్ ఒకటి కొని వాడు పెట్టుకున్నాడు ఇలా, అదేంటి వాడికి? అసెట్. బజాజ్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ విల్ బై అండ్ సెల్ ఏసీస్. మీరు బజాజ్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు దాంట్లో ఏసీ ఉంటుందిగా, ఏంటి అది? ఏసీ. క్యాపిటల్, ఇట్స్ ఏ అసెట్. సో అలాగే. సో క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి? సజెస్ట్ వెదర్ ద అబౌవ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ క్వాలిఫై as క్యాపిటల్ ఆర్ రెవెన్యూ. బోత్. వాట్ యు పర్చేస్ టు సెల్ ఈజ్ రెవెన్యూ. ఈ 20 కంప్యూటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఇది రెవెన్యూ. A single computer or 24,000 is capital. Best Tech Solutions is in the business of buying and selling of computer. Any computer purchased for resale to its customers will qualify as. Hence, the purchase of 20 computers will be part of. Adraina? At the same time, the computer purchased for maintaining the records and invoice is to be able to operate the business for. Therefore, the purchase of 24,000 qualifies as. This amount will be part of assets in the. So we have revenue, we have capital. Clear? Fourth illustration. Illustration number 4. These are all theoretical concepts. Okay na? Ilage vastayi questions meeku. State with reasons whether the below items relating to the business of AB Limited are capital or revenue receipts. Okay. A machine with a book value of 10 lakhs is sold for 12 lakhs. Machine enti? Asset. So what it is? Capital. It's a capital in nature. We got a profit, no? So it's a capital item in nature. Premium amounting to 1 lakh received on issue of shares. అంటే మనం కొన్ని షేర్లు ఇష్యూ చేసాం, 10 lakhs ది 11 lakhs వచ్చింది, 1 lakh ఎక్స్ట్రా వచ్చింది. సో వాట్ ఇస్ దట్? క్యాపిటల్. An amount of 20,000 received from goods sold in cash. గూడ్స్ రెగ్యులర్ గా అమ్ముతుంటాం, కొంటుంటాం కదరా. సో రెగ్యులర్ గా అమ్ముతూ కొనేదాన్ని ఏమంటాం? An amount of 5 lakhs received on the maturity of fixed deposit from bank. Also an interest of 40,000 was received in addition to the maturity of fixed deposit. Fixed deposit ఏమో క్యాపిటల్, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏమో రెవెన్యూ. బికాస్ మనం అదే ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేసామనుకో, అది అసెట్, దాని నుంచి వచ్చే ఇన్కమ్ రెవెన్యూ. అలా. ఓకేనా? This also you can answer. Good Pictures Limited construct a cinema house and incurs the following expenditure during the first year ended. Second-hand furniture worth 9,000 was purchased. Repainting the furniture cost 1,000. The furniture was installed by own workmen. Wages for this paid is 200. Hmm. 10,000 capital. ఎందుకు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఎనీ టైమ్ అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ పర్చేస్ ఆఫ్ ఫస్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ఆర్ సెకండ్ హ్యాండ్ అసెట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బికమ్ క్యాపిటల్. సో ఈ 9,000, 1,000, 200. సో 9,000 plus 1,000 plus 200. 10,200 is capital. Everything is capital. ఓకేనా? రెవెన్యూ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ మీకు లాజిక్ నేర్పిస్తాను, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. రెవెన్యూ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఇంకర్డ్ అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ క్యాపిటల్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఇస్ క్యాపిటల్. I incurred a capital expenditure. At the time of any revenue expenditure I incur, that also will become, example, I purchased AC, capital. AC I have to bring from that Bajaj to my place, transport. Actual transport revenue. At the time of purchase will become capital. Installation, normal revenue. At the time of asset purchase, capital. Like that. Repairs, normal revenue. At the time of asset purchase, capital. Painting, normal revenue. At the time of asset purchase, capital. This is good. Any revenue expenditure incurred at the time of capital expenditure will become capital. Clear? Next. Expenses in connection with obtaining a license for running a cinema worth 20,000. During the course of the year, cinema company was fined 1,000 for contravening the rules. Renewal fee of 2,000 for the next year also paid. This is capital. Fine is not capital. This is renewal fee. Every year we have to pay, kada? So it is revenue. Every year we have to pay. So it is recurring in nature. So that will become revenue. Clear? Fire insurance 1,000 was paid on 1st October for 1 year. Revenue. Because generally every year we will pay. Next. And it all depends upon when you are closing the business also. Let's assume if you are closing the business on 31st December. So this year it covers October, November, December. Only 3 months. 9 months will go to next year. If you are taking up to March, October, November, December, January, February, March will be this year. Next 6 months another. Like that it moves. Temporary huts were constructed costing 1,200. They are necessary for construction of a cinema. They are demolished after that. So they are capital. Okay na? Which will add to cost of cinema. Ila. Inke edunna alage untam. Okay? Jeppesi. Overhauling expenses of 25,000 for engine of a motor car to get for better fuel efficiency. Capital. Either it is increasing the value or it is reducing the cost. Inauguration expenses of 25 lakhs incurred at the time of opening a new manufacturing unit of the existing business. Actually, it should be capital. But దాని వల్ల మనకు పెద్ద బెనిఫిట్ ఏం రాదు. సో దిస్ విల్ బి ట్రీటెడ్ యాజ్ రెవెన్యూ. చూడండి, ఇనాగ్రేషన్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ incurred on opening a new unit may help to explore more. This expenditure in the nature of, as the expenditure may not generate any enduring benefit to the business more than, so it should be treated as revenue. Just open చేసుకుంటాం మనం అంతే. Compensation of 2.5 crores paid to a worker who opted for voluntary retirement. Actually, this is deferred revenue. Looks like revenue, but we have the right of over a period of time. Deferred revenue. The amount paid to the worker on voluntary retirement is in the nature of, since the magnitude of the amount of expenditure is very significant, it may be deferred over a period of future. So, the deferred revenue expenditure. Clear? You have 1-2 more examples, you can practice that. Clear? That's it. This is what is your capital line revenue. Tomorrow we'll do one more unit called accounting policies, very small, like this. In one class it will be done. Okay, see you.